Hey friends, okay, so today's video, I'm just gonna do a little chatty video. I feel like it's been a while and I feel like so much has changed and I just miss you guys. I miss just chatting like we are best friends. And so grab a cup of coffee and maybe grab some laundry because I have like 6 loads of laundry, but I'm just gonna hopefully do one right now with you guys. Laundry never ends. I feel like if I miss a day or two, it just piles up so fast. That's what happens. So anyway, I have so much to talk about. I feel like things have been changing so much in our family and in the world and everything. So I'm just gonna chat with you guys. I really want to talk about the baby and my pregnancy a little bit, and then also schooling, which has totally changed. I thought the last time I did a video, like I thought I knew exactly what was gonna happen, and things have totally changed with the Catholic school that my boys are going to. So I'll talk about that. I just wanna know what you guys have to say about the vaccine, because I have some new thoughts about that, like the new vaccine that's coming out with our children and stuff. So I'm just kind of curious. Okay, so let's first talk about the really fun thing. My son Thomas got his first Holy Communion this last Saturday, and it was so beautiful, you guys. It was just like so heartwarming. I have been, we've been preparing. My husband has been like reading the Multiple Art Catechism with him, and he's been preparing at class as well. And it's just been like one of those things that he's my oldest, so he's the first one to go through First Communion, and it was so beautiful. Like, thank God I brought Kleenex because I cried like a baby. I was just like, when he went up there, just floodgates. I was so like excited for him and so pleased. And I don't know, I just, you know what made me think about, like, all of the people who have died for our faith and who have, like, passed down this Catholic faith to us, like our parents, our grandparents, all the martyrs who died for our faith. Like, it just all came to me during the First Communion, like how amazing it is that Jesus Christ like wanted this to happen, and that, and he's just, so innocent and stuff. So we started off the day where I took him to confession because I wanted to go anyway. So I was like, let's go to confession before your First Communion. And so we went to confession, and it was so awesome. I told the priest, I went in first, and so I told the priest, I was like, hey, just so you know, it's my son's First Communion today. And so he was really sweet, like with Thomas, and that was probably Thomas's 4th or 5th time of going to confession. So that was a great way to start it, like clean soul, clean slate, all of that. And so First Communion came, and it was so beautiful. Even though they had to wear masks, I'm like, oh man, but it was so beautiful. And he was just shining, and like I felt like he really was understanding what he was doing because we like talked about it so much and stuff. So if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw all the pictures and stuff. It was a lot of fun. It was so sweet, and a very proud moment for this very pregnant mama. I was crying so much. But I knew I would, so thankfully I had Kleenex. Have any of you cried for your first, for your kids' Holy Communions? Baptisms I cry too, weddings I cry. And I'm not like a huge crier. I cry when I'm happy. So like even in prayer, like that's usually when I cry, is when I'm happy. And sometimes when I'm sad too, but I'm usually a pretty happy person. So anyway, so yeah, so that was super exciting. And then we had a little barbecue at our house after with his grandma and grandpa and then his aunt too. So it was really sweet. My mom and dad were actually gonna drive here because they're in Minnesota, we're in Virginia. And so they were gonna drive here, and they actually ended up getting COVID. So that was like really crazy that that they both had COVID, and they were gonna bring a van full of my siblings as well. And so they caught it, like they realized that they had COVID, and so they immediately like let me know like, hey, I don't think we should come. So of course we're like, okay, we understand. So please pray for them. It's actually my mom, my dad, my grandma, and also one of my sisters has it. So it's kind of like crazy because anyone who has been in contact with my mom and dad are like definitely feeling the effects of it. Like, and my brother has not been tested yet, but he has all the symptoms. So I think he's been tested, but he doesn't have the results yet back. So anyway, if you can please pray for them. I've been talking to them every day, like on FaceTime and stuff. So that's been good. And they seem to be getting a little better and stuff. So, but man, it's no joke, right? Like, oh my goodness. So anyway, so that was kind of the first communion, my mom and dad. Also the baby, I want to tell you about the baby. Baby's doing great so far, feeling a lot of kicks. Thank you so much for all your prayers. Like, I can feel the grace of your prayers so much. So many of you say that you pray the rosary for me daily, that you know, are offering up masses for me and stuff. And I thank you so much. God knows that has been a huge help for me, because I don't know where I'd be without God's grace, you know, like with this pregnancy and stuff. Just, you all know like how, you know, this is going to be my 5th C-section. So that in of itself is a little bit worrisome, even though my doctor said it was totally fine, like that, as long as I wait 2 years, like, you know, everything looks fine to have another one. But there's still, you know, always that, you know, things can happen, you know, with any childbirth. So so thank you so much for your prayers. So I'm feeling the baby kick all the time, which is such a beautiful thing. You know, obviously as moms, we love that, but like, I've never loved it more than this pregnancy. I think because of my 2 miscarriages before, that it's so different, this pregnancy. You're kind of on edge a little bit, and you just constantly have to like, Jesus, I trust in you. Jesus, I trust in you. You know, I'm even this far along, I still have to like surrender that, you know, that fear and stuff to God. So anyway, so pregnancy is good. I have a doctor appointment tomorrow, and I have like 5 weeks to go. So I don't know, I'm so excited to meet her and to like have those little baby cuddles. And I'm trying to like mentally prepare for, you know, waking up in the middle of the night and dealing with, you know, you never kind of know what kind of personality you're gonna have. Like, I've had babies that are super hard and super needy, and then I've had other babies that are like super good and super easy, sleep through the night, you know, type of thing. So you kind of don't know what end of the spectrum you're gonna get till you meet the little one. So so anyway, I'm excited though, because all babies are blessings, right? Yeah, so with that, like, it's been crazy because, okay, school has started where our children go to school. And the last time that I talked to you guys, so I told you that the kids were going back to school, the school was opening full time, all of that. And I was super excited about that. Like, we were thinking of homeschooling if this school closed or had like full-time e-learning. But they ended up opening full-time. So that was kind of our way of knowing, okay, this is where they're supposed to be. And so what happened was, the school classes are not big enough for all the kids to be 6 feet apart, you know, the social distancing. And so what happened was, so many kids in the class can go full time, and then the other half of or I don't know if it's half, but like there's a portion of us that got picked in a lottery to e-learn half of the time. So it's been every other day of like where the kids go to school full time, and then the other day they e-learn, and then the other day they go back to school full time. So it's been hard because every day is so different. Like, I'm a very scheduled person, and so this has been honestly very challenging for me, very hard. And I know everyone's kind of in that same boat probably, like, you know, just the new school year with COVID, with all these things. So it's been like a very big challenge for me because every day is so different, you know. And like, so one week they'll go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the next week it's Tuesday, Thursday, and then the next week it's back to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I can't even have like a certain day where I'm like, okay, I grocery shop this day, I do this day, because with their school, like I need to be here. And pretty much this is the thing that's so hard for me, is like the days that they're here, it's pretty much like homeschooling them. And it is so hard, to be honest, because we're paying a lot of money pretty much for me to homeschool 50% of the time. And you know, a lot of the other parents who go to the school are feeling the same way. They're like, and it's hard because like the other kids get to go full time. You know, if their parents work, then they get to go full time. And I'm just like, so I'm getting penalized for being a stay-at-home mom, you know. And my goal was to homeschool the little kids, preschool them, and I have been, but it's so challenging when all 4 kids are here. As I know, most of you are homeschool moms, and you're like, Heather, like, so I get it, I feel you guys. And it's just been a challenge, especially because one of the big reasons why we decided to send the kids back to school is because I'm gonna have my 5th baby. And I was like, this is probably not a good year to homeschool, you know, like to start homeschooling, because the baby will be here, you know, in 5 weeks. So that's been a huge challenge for me, because right now I can juggle it all. But once the baby comes, I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Like, I really honestly don't. Like, I'm just like nervous about how it's all gonna go. But I will say, like, it has been nice, like, seeing my kids. You know, I get to see what they're learning, and what they're learning is phenomenal. Like, their school is so great. Like, they have adoration club, they learn about the saints like daily, they do mass, you know, once a week, they pray the rosary. Like, they're very, very Catholic, and I love that. And they come home so happy, they love school. So the good thing about e-learning is I get to like see what they're learning, and I'm like very hands-on with their learning on the days, because it's like homeschooling. And so the good thing is I get to see what they're actually learning, and it is legit awesome stuff. So that is a positive. I'm trying to think of the positives, you know, of this like very hard season in life. And I know so many of you are like struggling with the same thing. Like, it's, you know, I know a lot of you are new homeschool mamas, and like, or you're doing the e-learning too. Let me know how you guys are doing. Like, are you just kind of barely hanging on there like I am? Or am I alone in it? I mean, I don't know, maybe people are loving it. So it's just been really challenging, because I thought it would be something totally different than it is. I thought they'd be learning at home, but really it's like I'm homeschooling at home. So anyway, so that's school, and things are going like every day. You know, there's new challenges, and you just gotta give it to God, right? Give all glory to God. But, oh, the next thing, I really want to know what you guys, your thoughts are. So, I don't know. It's pretty much the vaccine for the COVID, specifically with our children. Father Mark Goring, he did a video. I'll link it down below if you want to watch. And there's a couple other videos that I saw that kind of like really made me think about it more. And so pretty much they're saying that they want to vaccinate all the kids as well. And the problem with that is that they don't know the long-term effects yet of this vaccine, because it's so new. And so pretty much my sister, who is a nurse, we were talking about it, and she said, honestly, Heather, like, you know, and I know we all have our different opinions about vaccinations and all of that. I totally get it. But I'm specifically talking about this vaccine. So my sister, who's a nurse, long-term nurse, she was like, Heather, I just don't feel comfortable with this vaccine. She's like, all of her kids are vaccinated. She's big time, you know, vaccines are good, you know, all of that. She said, Heather, usually vaccines take at least 7 years for them to make sure that it's safe and, you know, kind of perfected and all of that. And so she's like, that's why I don't quite trust this one, is because they don't have the time and experience, the research, you know, like they can't possibly have the research yet of the effect for our children. Like what she said made me really think. And then Father Mark Goring, who I absolutely love, by the way, if you want to look at for another Catholic YouTube channel, he's awesome. But he was saying the same thing. He's like, you know, children aren't super spreaders, and they're really gonna try to push this vaccine for kids to get, even though they aren't really too much affected by it yet, you know, like as far as they know. And yet this vaccine might have like these long-term effects that we don't know, you know, how our children are gonna react to them long terms. I don't know, what are your guys' thoughts? I just am not comfortable with it yet. And so what kind of makes me think about this is the Catholic school that my kids go to, I have a feeling that they're gonna say, okay, if you want your kids to continue going to school here, they will need to get the new vaccine for the COVID test, or the COVID, you know, vaccine virus. And so my fear is that they're gonna either kick them out, or, you know, that they'll kick them out, or they have to get this vaccine. And I'm just not comfortable with that. So if that's the case, then I am not gonna send my kids to school. So I will homeschool full time if that's the case. There's just not enough research where I feel comfortable with it, you know? And I don't know, maybe because my kids are at Catholic schools, they might be more open to it. I just don't trust it yet. I don't know what else to do. I'm like trying not to be anxious or nervous about this, because God's will be done. Maybe he does want me to homeschool, even though right now I feel great about them going to this Catholic school. Like, it's a lovely, lovely Catholic school, and not all Catholic schools are great. I know firsthand that some Catholic schools are only Catholic by name. Anyway, so that's kind of been a little bit of my concern. Have you guys had the same concern? Am I the only one? Like, I don't know. I don't know what to do except for surrender it to God and trust that he will take care of, you know, the whole situation and stuff. So anyway, that's kind of what's been going on lately. Those are my thoughts. I hope you guys are doing good. I know the election season is coming up, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I usually love politics. I don't watch any TV unless it's politics. Once in a while I'll watch like HGTV or Food Network or something like that, but I can't even do it. I can't watch politics. It's gotten so nasty and rude, and I'm just like, I already know who I'm voting for. I don't need to be swayed in any direction. It just seems like it's spiraling out of control. And so, and honestly, it gives me anxiety. That's why I haven't talked about politics on YouTube, because I'm like I can't do it. Like, for mental reasons, I feel like I know that it will stir up a lot. And you can look anywhere. There's all over YouTube, people are talking about, you know, how to vote if you're Catholic and stuff. So I don't really feel the need to talk about it. Like, it's very easy to find. But this pregnancy has been so hard with, you know, my gestational diabetes and just having 4 kids. Like, I just feel like so overwhelmed sometimes just with life that politics, I'm like, I can't go there. But I do love YouTube. I feel like YouTube is kind of like gives me energy and motivation and stuff. So it's funny because people have said like, oh, you need to take a break and stuff, you know, and I will. If I ever feel like I need to, I will definitely take a break. But it really does rejuvenate me, and I feel like this is what God is asking me to do. So every Wednesday is when I usually post a new video. I'm trying to get a little bit ahead of it so that when baby comes, I can still have videos for you guys, but I won't have to, like, you know, get on top of it. I can just like enjoy, kind of have maternity leave in a sense. But anyway, so yeah, so that's kind of like what's going on. I'm trying really hard just to simplify my life right now. I'm definitely in like, you know, nesting stage of like getting rid of things, setting stuff up for the baby, all that stuff, which is always fun. I love organizing and stuff. And with, you know, 4 children, 5 on the, you know, my 5th on the way, there's plenty to organize. So that's kind of another thing that rejuvenates me besides my ministry, is just like organizing, you know, trying to have a clean house and stuff. So when I'm not homeschooling or editing, I'm usually like cleaning my house, and I love it. like, well, that's kind of been the nice thing about COVID, is I'm like, well, it kind of forces me to like do these other things that I actually enjoy anyway and stuff. I'm trying right now to like really simplify my house, things that I don't use anymore. Some things I have that I got as gifts, but I'm like, I don't use it. You know, I'm just keeping it for that person. And so I'm trying to just kind of get rid of stuff like that. I'm naturally like a minimalist by heart, but so yeah, I'm kind of taking this time as like, okay, let's just relax and, you know, clean this room and just, you know, organize it and stuff. So so I'm feeling pretty good about that. I still have a couple things I have to get for baby that I'm like, oh, I should probably get that. You know, it's funny with your 5th, it's so different from your 1st, where your 1st like, which one's the best and all these things. So like I just got the baby a little bath and stuff, because in the move we must have given it away or something. So, but we have a crib, we have like, you know, the basics that you need and stuff. So so it's been fun. I should probably start packing for like my overnight bag for baby and, you know, stuff like that. So that's kind of next on my list once my house is all like cleared out and stuff. I have a huge full thing to give to like the thrift store, you know, and stuff. So anyway, I always feel good when I get rid of stuff and when I don't buy stuff. That's the key. You can't just get rid of stuff. You also have to stop buying stuff. So I'm just trying to figure out, okay, what do I need and what do I not need and stuff like that. But God is good. You know, it's been a challenging season. This whole pregnancy, really, you know, it started, like I found out I was pregnant like 2 days before like the whole COVID thing happened and everything shut down. So it's been a challenge because, well, the pregnancy itself has been really, really hard. I'm 41 and I'm like, oh, this is why people probably have children younger, because it is challenging. It is hard on your body and stuff. Plus I have 4 little ones, like all these things like add up. Thankfully my husband has been awesome and has been really, really helpful and stuff, but it's been a hard season, I will say. Like I just can't get organized or structured or anything, and that's been really hard for me because that's how I am naturally. So so I just take it one day at a time is like my new thing. Okay, God, what do you got for me today? You know, and just have to make sure that I pray though, because there have been times where I feel like I've been slacking in prayer, and I can tell on the days that I do slack on prayer, and I really need to work on that, you know, like and I shouldn't say that. I always pray, but just like entering in instead of just marking things off of, okay, I did rosary, I did this, I did this, I did this. Okay, I'm done for the day. I realize I need to really work on being present with God. Like that is what he wants more than anything, is like for us to be present with him and give him our full attention, which is hard when you have four kids, but it is doable. So yeah, so prayer has been like kind of crazy for me, trying to figure that out, Lord. You know, every day it's a new day and I just gotta focus, you know, type of thing. So yeah, so that is what I have for today. Thank you so much. I love chatting with you guys. Please comment down below, give this a thumbs up, and subscribe if you're new. And thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, I will see you all later. God bless. Bye.